I was told that John wants 6 months to prepare if the fight is locked in. And what's 6 months from now? September? Now, I'm sure, money talks, but...
John Jones versus Tom Aspinall has all the makings to be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history. And I think that's the fight that they're going to make next. John kind of alluded to it. He didn't say Tom's name specifically in the post-fight speech, but he goes, look, there's some things that you guys want. I need to sit down with Hunter and Dana. We need to work some things out, and then we're going to give you that fight. And
obviously, it now leaves John with either fighting you or retiring.
Yeah, that's off the table now. The Alex Pereira fight at heavyweight or any other weight, really. I mean, I guess you could still fight him at light heavy, I guess, but it won't be for a title. Yeah, John, there's only one thing to do, mate. Sign the contract and let's get a date going. And I know we've seen last night Dana White was talking.
Listen, John Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
So we're waiting for...
John Jones has finally agreed to face Tom Aspinall, putting an end to months of speculation. After endless rumors, Jones has confirmed what fans have been eagerly waiting for. He's ready to step up and unify the heavyweight division in a showdown against interim champ Tom Aspinall, and has even given a timeline for the fight.
Make of Jones responding to your call out so quick as well.
John Jones knows I exist. Woohoo! That's a win in itself. I'm buzzing with that.
The long-awaited showdown between John Jones and Tom Aspinall is finally back on track. What was once clouded in confusion following Aspinall's interim title win is now becoming a reality, with multiple sources, including Jones himself, confirming the fight is happening. For months, Jones was seen as the main roadblock. After finishing Stipe Miocic with a devastating spinning back kick at UFC 309 last November, he vanished from the spotlight, leaving fans unsure if he'd ever return. Jones later made it clear, a comeback, especially against the surging Tom Aspinall, wouldn't come cheap. In his own words, it would take DQ money to step into the octagon with the dangerous Brit.
When you hear him talk about the FU money and everything that he says there, what is your reaction?
I think he should be compensated well. I agree. Because I'm a damn dangerous fight for him. The most dangerous of his career at this stage. By far. And he knows it. Of course he wants money.
Many fans and analysts assumed it was the end of the line, that all the money talk was just a smokescreen to stall or completely dodge the unification fight. But now, that narrative has officially been turned on its head.
Guys in the room and who walks out.
What's up, guys? How we doing? How's it going?
How are you?
Doing all right.
Hey, I'm not gonna do this every year. You don't want to do it? No, because it's gonna be an Aspinall fest. I'm not gonna.
Behind the scenes, the UFC got to work, negotiating, crunching numbers, and applying pressure. And now, John Jones has reportedly come to terms with the promotion. Interestingly, the news didn't break through a press conference or major headline, but rather through a tweet by UFC Hall of Famer and former heavyweight champion Mark Coleman. After running into Jones at Dirty Boxing, Coleman tweeted, "I ran across the champ at Dirty Boxing. He is the GOAT. He will be fighting Aspinall soon. We are brothers. God is great. Hammerhouse for life." While casual in tone, the statement carried real weight. Coleman isn't just a fan, he's a respected figure in the MMA world. For him to confidently say Jones will face Aspinall soon adds a level of credibility that few others could offer.
Do you still want to see the winner of this fight Tom Aspinall to unify the heavyweight title?
Was that for me?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Do you want to see the winner fight Tom?
The winner should absolutely fight Tom.
Coleman's tweet came just days after UFC CEO and President Dana White went on record with TNT Sports, confirming that the fight is essentially done, just not finalized on paper yet. In Dana's own words, "It's going to happen. It's done, but it's not done enough to sit right here now and announce it and give you a date. But the fight's going to happen, it's just a matter of getting it signed." He went on to say that if they pull it off, announce it, and start the build-up, this could very well be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history.
I think fans are dreaming about John Jones and Tom Aspinall. That's the fight I think they're dreaming about.
Yes.
I think that if Stipe wins the fight or John Jones wins the fight, the way that both of those guys are wired, I think they fight Aspinall.
There it is, no more hiding behind injury delays or financial negotiations. The UFC is making moves, Jon Jones is making moves, and fans are finally getting the most anticipated heavyweight showdown since Brock Lesnar vs. Cain Velasquez. As for Tom Aspinall, he's all but confirmed it himself. The 31-year-old British phenom recently posted a photo with UFC Chief Business Officer Hunter Campbell on both Instagram and X, cryptically captioned, "Stay tuned." For anyone following the fight game, the message is clear: Aspinall knows he's in the mix. The fight is either already signed or so close to finalized that he's been told to prepare for the big announcement. It's a classic UFC setup, the quiet tease before a massive reveal.
I understand if you can't answer this question, but damn it, I'm going to ask anyway. Is there a fight that Dana White wants to see in the UFC above all else in 2025?
So I get asked this every year, and this year it would be Aspinall Jones. That's the biggest fight in heavyweight history. And at the end of the day, what my job is to give the fans what they want, and that.
Behind closed doors, UFC insiders have reportedly been eyeing UFC 317, set for June 28th in Las Vegas, as the ideal landing spot for the heavyweight unification bout, a big fight on a big card in a big city, perfect for a summer spectacle. But Jon Jones has made it clear he needs more time, with reports saying he's asking for at least 6 months to properly prepare for Tom Aspinall, likely pushing the fight to late fall or even the end of the year. This isn't a delay out of hesitation, it's a calculated move. Jones has always been a strategic fighter who doesn't step into the cage unless he's confident in the odds, and Aspinall is no ordinary opponent. Since returning from a serious knee injury in 2022, Aspinall has been on an absolute tear, most recently at UFC 304 in Manchester, where he avenged his only UFC loss by finishing Curtis Blades in just 60 seconds, sending a loud message to the division that he's not just back, he's better than ever.
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this John's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him.
This matchup is a stylistic powder keg. Jon Jones is arguably the most cerebral and unpredictable fighter in MMA history, capable of controlling distance, adapting mid-fight, and capitalizing on even the slightest mistake. On the other hand, Tom Aspinall is explosive, powerful, and exceptionally clean with his technique. He moves like a middleweight, hits like a truck, and has a ground game that's often underestimated. Aspinall himself has acknowledged that he knows what's coming but has been sworn to secrecy. In his own words, "I know everyone wants fight news, but I do know what's happening. I've been sworn to secrecy for a little bit, so stay tuned, but there will be news coming hopefully very soon." He's not denying the fight, he's simply holding on to the announcement, likely waiting for the UFC to finalize everything on paper before making it public.
You have the shortest average fight time in UFC history at 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yep.
You wouldn't know about your cardio really because you have the shortest average fight.
I've not got any. Like after a minute, I just exhaust myself. I just can't. But that's what everybody thinks. That's what everybody thinks.
How would we know if you can go?
I don't. It's a mystery for everybody. You know what I absolutely love? It's one of my favorite things about my style is that nobody knows anything about me. John is a massive studier of his opponents. That's one of the things that he does best. And the tapes are just not really out there of me.
This fight isn't just about the title, it's about making history. Jon Jones has already cemented his place as arguably the greatest fighter of all time, but his legacy in the heavyweight division is still unfinished. Beating Stipe Miocic was a major moment, but many felt Miocic was already past his prime. Tom Aspinall is a different challenge. He's in his prime, dangerous, and riding a wave of confidence that no one in the division can match right now. If Jones beats Aspinall, it will silence any remaining doubters and solidify his heavyweight reign. But if Aspinall wins, a new era will begin, and he'll be the man who dethroned the myth of Jon Jones.
You're on his mind there, Tommy. You see that? You're on his mind.
He looks a bit uncomfortable there. He looks a bit awkward.
You know what? He's right. You are an asshole, Tom. You are an asshole for that response.
I'm just being. I mean, everyone's an asshole sometimes, especially me. So I don't take offense.
In MMA, things are always subject to change. Injuries, negotiations, and scheduling conflicts have derailed super fights in the past. But this time, the tone is different, the energy is different. The UFC is all in, Jon Jones has agreed, Tom Aspinall is waiting, and the fans are ready. All that's left is the signature and the date. This is what the sport needed: a true unification bout, a generational clash, and a legacy on the line. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall is no longer just a dream, it's the next chapter in UFC heavyweight history. Even Francis Ngannou has picked a side in the heated debate surrounding this highly anticipated showdown, and is not holding back his thoughts.
Interim champ and champ, who is in the position to pick? The only reason why we get here is because the organization makes everything happen. They organize everything. But now, I don't think the blame should be on either Jon or Aspinall.
The speed, the athleticism, and the power to give Jon Jones problems. You know, Tom Aspinall is still young and he's still getting better. But I think this version of Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall can beat him. I feel comfortable saying that. Just because you have somebody who's going to take the fight to Jon Jones.
But what did you make of it when you heard Jon calling out Alex of all people?
You know, I think he does do this because, you know, Alex Perez now he's like big star in the UFC, you know, everybody loves him, so he know what he's doing, you know, but I believe he should to fight against Aspinall, but I think he a little bit afraid of him, you know, because Aspinall is someone who can really stop him and beat him.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's what I think, that he believes if he can.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. Jon is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC is saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego a little bit. I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think. Damn.
What drug are you talking about specifically?
Yeah.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon.
Aspinall's a freak. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem. But Jon has been used to fighting guys like Alexander Gustafsson, guys who are really fast at light heavyweight. So the speed is not going to...
Him fighting a fun fight. I think that's what he has to go for. Like, fights that are going to make him... The fans want to see it. But I don't... See Aspinall would be great to see, but I mean, that guy's too young. You know, he's on his prime. It's a risk fight for him. I don't recommend that fight for him. I like Jon Jones, so that's why I'm Jones, you know, I like you. You know, I just want to see do some fun fights. I think you did everything you could.
For all the fans who love you.
But for